Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good evening, YouTube. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so it's been. I think last week I did a live on immigration question and answer, but I wanted to do live tonight because I want to. I want to discuss about the fee waiver. So there's been an update on fee waiver policies. There's a apparently recent case law on fee waiver relating to entry clearance. Okay, so let me just recap a little bit about the fee waiver policies. If you are in the United Kingdom, if you are in the UK, who wants to apply for an application based on human rights, so that is hi Abdul, that is, for example, you're applying for limited leave to remain as a partner of a British citizen or settled person. If you're applying for limited leave to remain because your child is British, and any other human rights applications, you can apply for fee waiver. So this will be applications like renewing your limited leave to remain. So let's say you overstayed and then you were granted 2.5 years visa, and then you want to renew it. Okay, so this kind of application, you can apply for the fee waiver. And it used to be quite difficult to get the fee waiver, but I think it was last year they changed the policies because there was a judicial review application. Somebody challenged the Home Office policies, and the court agreed that their policies on fee waivers were unlawful. Okay, so it was unlawful, and therefore now it's about affordability. So it's nothing to do with whether or not you're going to be destitute if you pay for the fees. It's about whether or not you can afford to pay for the fees. And so the test has been, it's kind of lowered down so that it's easy for people to get the fee waiver. So if you let's say you're applying for you're renewing your visa and you don't have the 2,600 something to pay for the home office fees and the immigration health surcharge, then you can apply for the fee waiver. So that's application in country. But if you have families outside the UK, let's say you're in the UK, you're settled, you're a British citizen, and you have a family that that you want them to join you. You've complied with the requirements, such as you have the 18,600 financial income requirement, and all the rest. But you don't have the funds, and your family back in wherever they are in outside the UK can't afford to pay the 3,000, because it's a lot of money. It's about 3,000. So 1,573, then 1,000. So yeah, over 3,000, 3,200 something. If you don't have that, then you can apply for fee waiver. It used to be before the case law, and now, and again, the Home Office is going to apparently they're going to review their policy. So we may hear shortly about what they're going to do about the fee waiver from outside the UK. It used to be that they will only grant you the fee waiver if you apply from abroad, if there was a civil war or something else. There were two of them. But now the judge, again, somebody challenged it. I think there's three organizations challenged it on behalf of a client, and they won. And the court also found that the Home Office policy on fee waiver for entry clearance is unlawful, and therefore it's making it easier for people to be reunited, let's say, okay, from outside the UK. So that's the fee waiver. The second one I wanted to discuss is somebody asked about I am on a spouse visa and I would like to divorce my husband. I think it was husband, and can I divorce him? So what happens with the spouse visa? If you have a spouse visa, it's only valid for 2.5 years, and it's granted on the basis that you live with the British partner or with the settled person in the UK. If the relationship breaks down, even if you don't get divorced, okay, So let's say there's some kind of disagreement, and the person, the British citizen, spouse, partner, or the settled person writes to the Home Office to say, "Oh, our relationship is finished," or we broke up and we're no longer together, and blah blah blah, whatever. The Home Office tends to side with that person and then revokes your visa. Okay, so they sort of like terminate your visa, and even though you've only been in the UK, let's say for a year, and your partner writes to the Home Office and say, "Oh, blah blah blah, we're no longer together, we're separated." Then the Home Office writes to you and say, "Oh, we revoked your visa." So that's one. The other one is if you get divorced. Okay, if you get divorced, then when you get divorced, you're no longer you're no longer married, and therefore your visa lapsed. So they don't no longer apply. All right. What if there was a DB case? Yeah, the DB case is completely different, Abdul. So it's absolutely different. So if there's a domestic violence case, then that will be a different story. So usually, if the couple separates and the partner, the foreign spouse, partner, can apply. So this is the procedure. If you are on a spouse visa and you experience domestic violence, then as a foreign migrant, foreign spouse, you can apply for concession. So this is to access, especially if you have a child. If you don't have a child, you can still do it because you can claim benefits. But only if you give up your spouse visa. Okay, so this is what they call domestic violence concession. So you apply to that concession, you give up your spouse visa, you're then given 3 months to claim benefits, and then within the 3 months, you're supposed to apply for domestic violence, as victim of domestic violence settlement application. Okay, and there's no guarantee. Just because you got the concession doesn't mean that you will get the domestic violence settlement when you apply. There is absolutely no guarantee. Okay, so that's the kind of procedure for domestic violence. There's been cases. I heard there was a case I read where the partner wrote to where the British partner or settled person wrote to the Home Office to say, blah blah blah, and then they revoked this person's visa without investigating. They don't investigate. Unfortunately, Home Office don't investigate about these reports by the by the British national partner. They don't investigate, and it turns out that she was a victim of domestic violence. So just because your visa is revoked doesn't mean you can't claim as a victim of domestic violence. And again, it depends on the the evidence that you gather. And as a foreign spouse, you must always you must always be careful and make sure you keep evidence of abuse. Don't just put up with it, because there's a lot of help available out there. Okay, so that's one. That's one. The other one I'll deal with the questions after I've dealt with these 3 points that I wanted to discuss. The other one is about the renewal of pre-settled status. So if you have a pre-settled status and you want to apply again for the settled status because you have already been in the UK, then the procedure is exactly the same. You go to the UK. Let me just look at my phone, okay, to see the link. I will type the link here on the chat so that you can have access to that. But it's basically exactly the same as when you applied for pre-settled status. Okay, so the Home Office might ask for evidence that you've been in the UK for 5 years, and usually they check the national insurance for records of employment or self-employment. And if there are gaps, then they may ask you to provide that you've been in the country for, you haven't been out of the country for more than 6 months. Okay, and I will share the link on the chat so that you can access the the information on how to apply from pre-settled to settled status. Absolutely, exactly the same. As it's very straightforward. Okay. There's just question here. Alex and Diana, can you fee waiver for spouse one and first application, family life on fee waiver? Yeah, there's absolutely, Alex and Diana, Ray, there's absolutely no distinction. You can apply anytime. So even I had a client who applied for, it was her first time to apply for fee waiver. Yeah, you can apply. Again, it's absolutely separate. So fee waiver application is separate, immigration application separate. So if you have not had a visa, for example, but you want to claim human rights application, you want to stay because your family is here, then apply for fee waiver. Absolutely fine. I had one. She was an overstayer. She had her husband was an asylum seeker, and they have 2 kids, and she's never had visa, so she wanted to apply. Obviously, she can't afford to pay for immigration fees, so we tried to apply for the fee waiver. Unfortunately, she didn't proceed because the Home Office asks for evidence of her partner's bank account, and there was some kind of issue there, and so she didn't proceed, and she just kind of borrowed the money to pay for the Home Office fees. But yes, you can apply to renew. You can apply for the spouse and first application of family life. Yeah, definitely. So, okay, when I'm done of school of my homeland, should I go to Canada? Okay, corpse husband. Corpse husband, that's entirely your decision whether you want to, go to Canada or London. But Canada and London, I think they have, as far as I am aware, Canada they're also open for they're open, and it's quite easy to migrate there if you comply with the requirements. But London, UK has also opened up with the skilled worker route. But also, if you're a student, and you study, I think, master's degree, or even if you finish your degree in the UK, you can apply for post-study work. Don't quote me on that, but they've recently published this new immigration changes, and that included what happens when you finish studying in the UK. Can you apply to look for jobs, or to get jobs, to yeah, so you can stay afterwards, and they'll give you, I think, either two years, 2 years visa, and if you're a PhD student, then after your PhD they give you 3 years to look for jobs, and you can apply for any job. It doesn't have to have, you don't have to apply for a job from an employer who is licensed with the Home Office. So anyone can you can get a job in any employer. Okay, it doesn't have to be licensed by the Home Office. Okay, so okay, if you have any questions, pop them here while I look for that link on the what do you call it, the fee waiver. 1 second. Just fee waiver, but ask me questions and I'll answer them. Not fee waiver. Apply for settled status. Okay, so this is the apply for EU settlement scheme. Okay. Hello, Simply Life Abroad blog. How are you? Okay, so .gov.uk. Trying to get the link. Copy the link. Okay, so for those who are listening on, for those who are listening, and this relates to you about the pre-settled status, okay? If you have a pre-settled status in the UK, and if you have a pre-settled status in the UK and you want to renew it, you may find that it's a bit difficult if you have been out of the country for more than 6 months. Okay, so after December 2020, 31st of December 2020, and you hold a pre-settled status, and you've been out of the country for more than 6 months, it may be difficult for you to renew your pre-settled status, because that's the rule, unfortunately. Then you've broken the continuous residence in the UK. Apparently, that's what the you will find on this link here on the government website. That's the Home Office will ask for evidence that you've not been out of the country for more than 6 months. No, this is not first time. I think this is the third time. I tried to use the what was that program that you suggested? I tried to use it, but I couldn't use it. I was on live, but then it was absolutely they couldn't hear me. I was talking away and they couldn't hear me. Okay, can this Amnesty, George, Amnesty, they don't announce the amnesty, okay? I don't think the Home Office will ever announce that there's going to be an amnesty for overstayers. But if you have a reason to stay in the UK, then then apply, okay? Otherwise wait until either you qualify for the 20 years private life, 20 years residence in the UK private life application, or until something changed in your circumstances and you can apply again. There's unfortunately at the moment there is no news about amnesty. And the reason for that is because the Home Office, the Secretary of State actually has a lot of discretion to judge on an application. And that's why one application is granted, and then you have another application, similar facts, and then it's refused. Okay, so this is how kind of inconsistent results with applications. And even if you use a lawyer, same case, but it's refused, but then you have another person who did it on their own, absolutely the same case, did it on their own, but it was granted. So that's why. Okay, it's a statement from the City Council showing all the paid bills for the past year sufficient as a proof of residence in the UK. No, I think proof of residency, when you submit your application, Abdul, they'll ask for usually passports. So scan everything. If you have the passports for the last, I don't know when you, because I don't know your case, but passports will show, full pages. Like if you have a passport of 1 to, I don't know, 30 pages, scan all of them. So no passport, okay. Yeah, I would try. Yeah, statement, council tax, council tax. Did you have, Abdul? Were you working for the last 5 years? Because they can check on the national insurance if you've been working. Okay. So the fact that you already had your indefinite leave to remain. Okay, so that's 5 years, right? So, and then So you only have, yeah, yes, P60. Yes, okay. So yeah, usually P60, if you've been constantly, regularly working, then that should be sufficient. Yeah, I would, yeah. If like year one, you worked, and anyway, they have record of that. But just, yeah, that should be sufficient for residency. If you can't show passport, council tax, P60 and P45, yes, your national insurance will connect them to the system, and then it will show whether or not you've been in the country working full time, for example. They can check it. Yeah. Okay, I'll stay for another 10 minutes. Okay, not necessarily talking. I'll read something. But if you want to ask me a question, drop your questions, and then I will answer them. I think it's probably the best, isn't it? So I'm just going to get this again information about that pre-settlement scheme. Can't get that link. Okay, just 1 second. Just going to grab this link. Okay. Okay, so I have just, okay, so for those who are watching this, and it's all about, if you're interested about settled status, then the link, I've posted the link on the message on the chat box. That will take you to the information that you need to apply for the settled status. If you've been in the country for, let's say, 5 years, let's say July, okay, in July, what do you have to do? So make sure you keep yourself updated on this link that I've just posted, because that's the government website all about the EU settlement scheme and what you can do to upgrade, okay, not upgrade, but from pre-settled to settled status, okay. The application is really straightforward. Just click on the green button, follow what the Home Office says, and as usual, if you are not sure what to do, ask, or you don't understand a phrase on the government website, ask someone to interpret it for you. Okay, so it's all about interpretation. If you don't know what it says, ask someone to sit beside you who is he's a bit better in English understanding than yourself, and then follow it. It's really straightforward. It's not a tricky application at all. Okay. Okay, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to write them on the chat box. GP, okay, Abdul, GP letter. Do you think you can get a GP letter to say they've been registered at that, do they have passport? Did you get them passport, travel document? Again, scan them. If you have some form of, travel document, scan all the pages. Yeah. Then what about a school? Okay, school record, school, because that's the only thing you can do, isn't it? You can only sort of say, well, they've attended school. If they haven't got passport, then there isn't no passport. But what about travel documents? If you have them, if not, then yeah, I would ask the school to provide a letter to say they've enrolled in that school for the last how many years, if you can. If they are let's say I don't know, 6 years old, then ask the GP to confirm that they're registered there and have attended. Maybe get like a copy of their. I know it's a sensitive, not really sensitive, but the Home Office already has access to your medical records. So maybe ask the GP to provide a printout of medical records. Yeah, expired ones. Yes, Abdul, you need to scan all those expired travel documents. Yes, all pages. It will show that is the evidence that you've not been out of the country for, you've been in the you've lived in the country and have not, because you will have stamps, won't it? And if you have those expired documents and they don't have stamps, or they have stamps but doesn't, yeah, you didn't travel abroad, but it doesn't matter even if it's blank. Scan them, scan each page of the travel documents. This is what I mean. This will prove your residency for the last 5 years. Yes, yes, yes. Because that's travel document is equivalent to passport. So scan all the pages, even the cover, the cover of the travel document. Yeah, scan that one so that it shows that it's the cover, and then page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, all of them. And that deals with the residency requirement, and on top of whatever you're supplying. The more the better. So supply whatever you think will help to prove that you haven't been out of the country. But usually, unexpired travel documents will be sufficient. But you may find you have a caseworker who is it just really depends on who's your caseworker, I think. I don't know whether they have a checklist that says, does this client have this. So the more documents, the better. Because if you just submit unused, expired document, like the pages of all the pages of your passport or travel documents, but don't supply anything else, you may get refused. But then they're very good actually with passport applications, because if they require more information, they just write. They write and ask for more information, instead of just sending you and say, well, no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the immigration. The Home Office caseworker. It's a caseworker at the Home Office, because they look at the application, and it depends on, that's why one case is different and the other case is one case's result is different, the other case is either refused or approved. So that's why, yeah, that's what I meant by the caseworker in the Home Office. Okay, Awudu, how do you have any questions for me? I've got like 2 minutes, two minutes, but if you have any question, I'm happy to stay and answer your question. Yeah, no problem. You're still listening. Do you have any questions for me? Simply Life Abroad. Yeah, I start at 7 o'clock. I would do. So, but if you have any questions, okay, if you have any question, if you want to email me, you can reach me at help at doityourselfimmigration.uk.co. Do it yourself immigration. Sorry, I don't even know the email address. help at doityourself.co.uk. No, do it yourself immigration. So sorry, I might as well just write help at do it yourself immigration.co.uk. Okay, so this is my email address. That's the email address, and again, I'll pin that. Replace pinned. Yeah, replace payment. So any question that you want to ask me, you can email it. You can email me using that email address, and no problem. And I'm usually trying my best to reply to your messages. Okay. Okay, guys. Thanks very much for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a lovely Tuesday evening. Keep safe. Bye, everyone.